Hello everyone, my name is Vivian Duru and my presentation today would be on the time series sales analysis for week 1 from the AD Circle Data Analytics Challenge. So for week 1's tasks, we were given a data set and we were asked to identify retail revenue patterns, peak seasons, drops and seasonal trends from 2010 to 2011. So, showing in my screen right now is my final product, which is my dashboard. And but before that, I'll take you through my analysis process and everything that I covered. So this is a data set that was given. Okay, it's after much data cleaning, I was able to have this analysis. So these are my KPI cards, the analysis that was done for my KPI cards. These are my pivot tables and analysis with insights that were gotten from them. So for this particular analysis, I made use of Excel throughout the analysis. I used Power Query for my data cleaning. I used Power Pivots to create calculated columns, and then I used also Excel to visualize my data. So everything for this analysis was done using Excel. So now I was able to, after analyzing my data, cleaning my data, I was able to come up with these insights. And these are the sales revenue, return rate, net revenue, and top sales day for the KPI cards. So looking at the data set, I noticed that there are invoice numbers that have the letter C that came in front of them. So I had to filter that out to be able to get the returns. I was able to get the returns from there. Not only did they have C, but they had negative, the invoice, not only did the invoice number have C, but they had, negative quantity number. So I was able to decipher that, okay, this would mean returns. And they had customer ID, they had sales unit price, they had date and time. So I was able to actually say that, okay, these products were products that were returned. And from there, I was able to get the return revenue, which means the revenue that was lost, and then sales revenue, the actual revenue that was made from sales, and the net revenue, which is when you minus the sales revenue from the returns revenue, what was gotten. For the return rate, at what percentage were products returned, and then for the top sales day, the day of the week that had the most sales, that's the best performing day of the week. So over here at my my charts, I have 3 donut charts which I formatted to have the net revenue and return rate by sales period. So for the morning period has the highest return rate at 9.4%, but also second to the highest revenue at 3 million. But the afternoon has the lowest return rate but the highest revenue, while evening period has the least revenue with $161,000. So the next is the revenue and quantity sold by month, and these figures there is no abnormality here because as revenue were increasing, it also reflected with the quantity of products that were sold by the month. So for this data set, it was just only December for 2010, and then the remaining 12 months for 2011. So moving on to the next card, and going back here, the peak sales, the month with the highest revenue was November in 2011 at $1.1 million, then followed closely by October. So moving on to the next, which is the net revenue and return rate by day of the week. So the best performing day of the week is Thursday, as the highest revenue that was generated on Thursday was at 1.8 million. Then, but the highest return rate was done on Friday. And this could be attributed to the fact that, okay, people would want to bid the weekend and want to actually return their products before weekend. So the next is the return rate by quarter, and the highest returns were done in the fourth quarter. And then the next is the month revenue group performance. That's the month over month growth. So for January, there was a from the decrease from the base year, which is 2010 December. So there was decrease in February as well, but an increase in March. There was a decrease in April, but an increase in May. Decrease in June, July, then increase in August. September there was an increase. October there was an increase, and then November there was an increase, but decrease in December. So the highest decrease, as you can see from my line chart over here, it shows that 69.6% was lost in December of 2011. Sorry. Then moving on to my recommendations, the top the top that's the top sales day. It's at this dashboard. My analysis shows that Thursdays are the top sales day. So also a monthly revenue, August to November, then a sharp drop in December. But I'll just go straight to my recommendation, which is timing for promotions. Actually, timing. So early year promotions should be done, to counter the significant drops in revenue in December and in January and December. So targeted promotion and sales should be done in January and February, and this could boost post-holiday season sales. For mid-year promotion should also be done, but this should be on a smaller scale in the second quarter, specifically during May and June, since the second quarter has the lowest return rate, so customers are less likely to return items. Then pre-holiday season promotions should also be done. Now this to capitalize on the strong sales period from August to November. It will also capture early holiday shoppers and also extend the peak sales window. For targeting, that's for marketing, daily promotion should also be done, especially on Thursdays, and this is to leverage the high traffic and volume sales. Then for holiday return promotions, now given the high rates in Q4, like incentives can be offered for exchange rather than returns, and then provide store credits to keep customers engaged. Restocking, restocking should be done from the high sales period, that is from August to November. August to November, then inventory levels should be high to meet the demand constantly growing in the holidays. So post-holiday inventory management, after the peak in November, there should be awareness of the sharp drop in sales from December and January. So inventory should be managed to avoid overstocking during this month, and this would tie capital. Then also the next would be to focus on afternoon hours in terms of restocking. Adequate staffs should be assigned to places during the afternoon, and this to ensure that most products are in demand and would not be out of stock. That would be all for my presentation. Thank you.